Hello and welcome back to Vinralandia. Last time we built some amazing roundabout systems that unfortunately people were not terribly happy about. They decided to hold a small riot. We fixed it. We fixed it by just letting them riot themselves. Up to the point that they just couldn't riot anymore, and then they just stopped, and it was nice. So much better than if they had continued to riot for pretty much ever. That would have been very bad. Oh my goodness, look at Brandberg! So many high rises. I didn't realize there was so many amazing buildings here. Look at Wittsville. It's got them too. That must be the high-tech housing. Of course, the high-tech housing has also helped to burn down this building. As one of the parts of the high-tech housing initiative was to bring in a new type of broiler to everyone so they could broil their meats really nicely. The broiler is just a flamethrower, and of course, if you point the flamethrower in the wrong direction, it burns your entire building down. So, unfortunately, we lost a building due to some high-tech housing, but it's okay. It'll be fine. We will survive. We will survive, at least so we say. Oh, look at Little Transylvania. It's got so many trash problems. Of course, the trash collection service can only work at night because it's entirely vampires. And there's not as much time in the night as there is in the day, so it's hard for them to make all of their rounds all the time. Okay, what are we going to do today? Because we need to stop rambling on, and by we I mean I need to stop rambling on about things. And we need to figure out what needs to be done. Little Transylvania is mostly complete. That is a truth. Look at it. It mostly fills up the area. Good enough. Sometimes you just need to leave good enough. Good enough. So perhaps we should expand into yet a new area. Perhaps right across from Little Transylvania. Right in here. This shall be it. What amazing place shall we build here? I have no clue. Not even the foggiest idea of what is going to go right here. But we're going to build it regardless. It's very important that we continue to expand the city so that the people of Vinralandia don't become so content with the size of the city that they actually start looking around and realizing that it's, of course, designed terribly, like really badly, that the person that they hired as a mayor is, of course, ridiculous. Because if they figured that out, I mean, the jig is up at that point. It's over. We're done. All going to come to a screeching halt as they just say, dude, we actually want someone who knows half a butt about what we're doing right now. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm not that guy. Don't know what's going on. Just making it up as I go. And then I'll be fired, and if I'm fired, then, of course, we can't continue our series, because then I wouldn't be part of the city anymore. I'd just be one of the people in, like, Brandberg or something. Of course, I wouldn't live in Brandberg, because Brandberg is ridiculous. Who wants to live in Brandberg? Nobody does. I personally would rather live in Wittsville, but if you tell anyone from Brandberg that I want to live in Wittsville, I'm going to deny it, and then I'm going to kill you in your sleep. So we're just gonna let that one slide and just not mention to Wittsville that I prefer, not mention to Brandberg that I prefer Wittsville. It'll be a lot easier that way. So, what amazing section of the city shall we have here? We have vampires, we have cultists, we have people who are really serious, we have people who aren't so serious. All of these things are very important to our city. But what amazing thing could be added to our city to make it even better? Of course, we need a section of the city devoted entirely to vegan and vegetarianism. And not just slightly devoted to it, we're talking like militant vegans and vegetarians. They are very, very outspoken in that they have actually burned down multiple meat factories. One of them was, we say, burnt down, in quotes, as it was actually firebombed with napalm. We're still trying to figure out exactly where they got the napalm. It's very questionable. We have not a single clue. Our military informants are... They mysteriously disappeared when they started investigating it. So we figured that we could control them better if we knew where they were. So we just decided to build a little section of the city for them. Isn't that nice? They're going to be so happy when they realize that, of course, they do have a say in things. And by say in things, I mean we're just going to keep an eye on them and try to make sure that they don't vote. Because if they start voting and then they don't get the votes that they want, that could lead to a massive, massive problem in that they would just start freaking out. And of course, they have military-grade payloads. Oh, we just need to be careful. Just be very careful when working with these people because they are crazy. They are insane people. Militant vegans. Seriously. That alone should tell you that these people have some sort of problem. So, here we have a nice little city. So we're going to build this little... I'm not sure if this makes any sense. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, looking at it. But, okay, what we've done is we've had the inn come into a roundabout. The roundabout then goes into the majority of the city, where they come here. It's nice. The majority of course, this section of the city. And then we also have a way to get directly out of the city if, perchance, someone just came down. They were like, oh, I don't actually want to come here because I actually eat meat and I am at risk. My life is seriously at risk being here, and they want to get out immediately, potentially before anyone actually figures out that they were there to begin with. They can just slip out this little one-way road, hopefully safely. We can't promise their safety. It's a very dangerous time and very risky for anyone who does eat meat of any variety to be in this particular section of the city, which I still don't know what we're going to call it yet. We're going to work on that. I have a crack team of expert district namers, which is of course just me, working on precisely what we're going to call this section of the city. One has been the plant herders. Come to think of it, I actually kind of like that name, just because it's ridiculous. So, okay, we've come up with a name. Our amazing, absolutely ridiculous crack team of name makers in our city have come up with an amazing name for this particular section of the city. The people who actually live there take a bit of offense to it, but we told them that you can't have a section of the city unless we actually name it this. So they were like, fine, we'll just live with it, I guess. And we're going to call this area the Plant Herders Den. There we go. That's what it will be called. No, it can't be just Plant Herders. It has to be the Plant Herders Den. There we are. The land of the militant vegans, very vicious people, not to be messed with under any circumstances. If you are walking down the street one day and you think to yourself, perhaps it would be a good idea to mess with militant vegans in Plant Herder, reconsider that thought, then consider how much of a dunce you are for having thought it to begin with, and probably throw yourself off a cliff because it's debatable whether or not they have mind-reading technology. It is, of course, 2033, so a lot of things have changed relative to what it is nowadays in our IRL time. Of course, they have egg cartons that actually hold, like, 13 eggs. This is one of the newest technologies that has come up in Vinralandia is the 13-egg carton that no one ever expected would actually come about. When the researchers were dealing with it, people were like, no, it's never going to happen. You can't possibly do it. You can't have 13 eggs in a carton. It's against the laws of science and nature. You can't do it. But then they were like, nope, we're going to do it. And they put 13 eggs in a carton, and people blew their minds. They just purchased so many eggs that one day that they figured out that, oh my goodness, we can actually do this. And then, yeah, the rest was history. Everyone in the research team, of course, went on to win the Nobel Prize. Actually, the Nobel Peace Prize for a completely unrelated work in which they cured the uncommon cold, the very rare disease that occasionally strikes in Vinland and causes people to, of course, itch uncontrollably. They just start itching everywhere. They just don't know what's going on. And yeah, they fixed that problem. And they got Nobel Peace Prizes. No one really gave them a prize for the whole 13-egg carton situation. I mean, it was a very commendable effort, and many people, of course, loved what they did. The mayor of Vinland, of course, myself, has come out saying that I enjoyed the situation. It was an enjoyable 13 eggs that I ate out of that 13-egg carton. But yeah, it wasn't as controversial as some people thought. There was one group that said that they would destroy every 13-egg carton because, of course, they were evil. Because of 13, just that's the situation. But in the end, they didn't do it, so we're very happy about that. And my goodness, this traffic is terrible. It's really bad. I know I was just talking about 13-egg cartons, but we really need to deal with this. I'm going to try a very risky maneuver, and you're going to have to stay with me on this one. You have to just believe that this is going to work out in our favor. What I'm going to do is create, wait for it. I'm going to create my own roundabout. That's right. I'm not going to use a preset roundabout because preset roundabouts are ridiculously large and I don't want that. What I'm going to do is create my own little roundabout that should fix just a bit the situation that we're in right now. Okay, what I need to do first, what we need to do first, of course, not just me, all of us, because someone else has to bear the burden of being the mayor of Vinlandia, because I can't deal with it. It's way too much for one person to be the mayor of Vinlandia. We need a council, a parliament, one might say, but of course we don't want a parliament because, I mean, we did a poll, another straw poll. Well, one straw poll. We haven't had a straw poll here yet. There's actually been a lot of opposition to straw polls, as balancing straws on polls is very controversial. Goatsburg does not appreciate that we're balancing goats' food on a poll just randomly. So, you know, because of course, in Vinlandia, I don't know if you know this, this is a very kind of new age idea within Vinlandia is that straw polls are, of course, you have two ideas or more, as many ideas as you really want, and then what you do is you take polls and you have people try to balance them on straws, and the last poll, the last straw standing is, of course, the right idea, because fate deemed that that would be a good idea. And that's just how it works in Vinlandia. So, of course, the straw polling, it was done, and, well, it's not done. I'm sorry. I'm getting myself confused as I try to explain straw polls because they are very complicated ideas. And if you're not, of course, aware of particularly what the straw poll in Vinlandia is, it can be very confusing, so I just need to make sure that everyone understands. So what happens is we can't do a straw poll because Goatsburg is so opposed to it. We've been trying to push for more straw polls so that we can get a better gauge of what the fates want for Vinrelandia. But it's very hard, very difficult. The last time we did a straw poll, which was a while ago, because of course Vinrelandia is a weird place and doesn't appreciate letting the fates decide their course of actions. The last time we did one, we kind of opted for nuclear testing, and that kind of destroyed half of the city that was there before. Okay, look, some of the people of Cultopia have been around for a while, quite a while indeed, and they've seen some things. And one of the things that they have seen is, of course, other cities, and kind of blew up part of it. It's okay. It's not anything that you need to be aware of, unless, of course, you happen to live in that other city and it exploded your house and your family and your dog. If that happened, I'm sorry. The straw poll said that we had to blow up another city, and because of that, we just blew up your house. It's as simple as that. It's nothing like vicious or evil that we were trying to do. I hope that you can understand that. But what we wanted to do was just accept the fate of what luck would have occur. So we blew up the city. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about either. I'm very confused now. I've confused myself, which means I've probably confused you even more. I am very sorry. I will not do anything at all about it, and just, I don't know, just move on. Keep building Vinrelandia. Because it's for the best that when you become very confused, you just ignore it and just move on. Believe me, it's saved at least 7 lives in the past. One of which was, of course, the founder of Cultopia. He knows a lot about saving lives through just forgetting about all of your problems, forgetting that you've forgotten things. It's good. Okay. What in the heck? So we built this roundabout. Let's get back on track. I'm confused and I'm concerned about the current situation of things that is occurring. Is this a two-way street? Oh, I see this situation. This is a bugger of a situation. Look at this. It's a one-way street, and then it goes into a two-way street. What in the heck is this? Who designed this? Wait, it was me? Oh, darn it. Okay. Look, it's okay. We'll be fine. There we go. It's now a one-way street all the way. There we go. It's nice. Look at that. Brilliant. That should help traffic flow a bit more because roundabouts are the way to go. As I said last time, likelihood is we'll put a ton more roundabouts in the city because they have proven to be quite successful in fixing our problems. Let's see. What were we dealing with? We were dealing with the plant herder's den. Oh, I don't even know why I name these things. It's a ridiculous name, the plant herder's den, but of course it's a ridiculous section of the city. Not to say, of course, that any section of the city isn't ridiculous, because if you've been, like, chilling out, actually looking around at Vinrelandia, it is absurd. It should be voted that Vinrelandia is, like, the worst place to live in, like, I would give it the world, because there's nowhere that you actually win in this situation. You're either going to be, like, part of the cult, some sort of crazy goat lover, or you're going to be trying to fight between, like, Brandberg and Wittsville, or you're going to be Batman, which, I have to say, being Batman would be a good thing, I will admit. If I had a choice about being Batman or not being Batman, I would probably go with being Batman. And I think that that's a pretty unanimous statement across most people, that being Batman is the right way to go. That's just what I think. You don't agree with me, of course. That's too bad. Don't care. This roundabout is not being used properly, apparently. Apparently, you can't just build two-way roads in a circle and have it be a roundabout. That's too bad. Well, no, it looks like it can be. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, traffic is flowing nicely, pretty nicely. Okay, it's flowing okay. It's not the worst. We've had worse, we've had better. But traffic is flowing, and that's good. At some point, maybe Little Transylvania will not be a cesspool for just eons of traffic. But until then, that roundabout is just going to continue to be slightly odd. Because people always want to stop right here and not actually just like let traffic flow. If they did that, that would be perfect. Everything would be happy. Perhaps, okay, I think we can fix this just a little bit. If we upgrade this to a one-way road not leading that way, yeah, there we go, leading that way. We upgrade this to a one-way road that way, I think that'll stop them from slowing down. Of course, it's not going to stop them from slowing down here. Apparently, there's a light like everywhere. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. In this case, we lost, and that's okay. We can survive another day, I think, maybe. That's questionable. But yeah. Okay, with that brings us to the end of the episode. We didn't actually, when I think about it, we didn't actually do very much. Right now, there's a lot of waiting as Transylvania builds up. Apparently, there's a lot of problems in Transylvania. Probably should have fixed a couple of them. But I think we're fine. We tried to fix the traffic, and that's A-okay. We've also gotten over 90,000 people, which is crazy. We've got like 9,000 more people before the end of the series in general, which will be an amazing and emotional time for all of us. I know when it does end, and not Transylvania, for Little Transylvania will leave, but Vinrilandia does cease to exist. My goodness, that will be ridiculous. But until then, thanks for watching, and cinematic camera. Here we go. Come on. Do it. There we go. And enjoy the rest of your day.